Hi, I'm Josh Bowman, Product Manager for QxControl, and in this video, we're going to cover how to add a Mercury door controller and doors. So this will be very similar to the process where we added access doors in a previous lesson, but let's just take a look at just a couple of the different considerations we would have for Mercury. So once again, we're going to choose Create Device from the Devices page. We're going to choose Access, and we're going to give this a name. So we're going to be adding a LP1502 controller, and we're just going to use video example again. Again, we'll be using the same gateway as before. We do have a different IP address that we're going to use, of course. All right, so now that we have that entered, a first difference that we're going to see here between these two options is that once we choose Mercury for our make, you're going to see the username and password disappear. The reason for this is you do not need to activate the jumper like you typically would to log into a Mercury panel web interface. We will actually, through the API, whether it is QxEP, one of ours, or whether it is a third party, in either case, we will log in through the API. We will create a QxAdmin user. You actually do not need to log into that device at all in order to set up. So those fields are grayed out. So we've chosen Mercury, and of course we do have a 1502 controller is what we're going to add. And as we have with previous lessons, we're going to choose Weekend. We're going to choose Create Device. And now you can see that this device has been successfully created. You will see that this uses port 3001 automatically detected versus the OnViv based access where we use port 80. And you will see that now we will get an inventory of capabilities based on the panel that we have selected. So with this 1502, you can see we have 8 inputs, 4 outputs, and 2 possible readers. And what you'll see is that as we add additional inventory, we will see these capabilities grow. So let's go ahead and do that. We actually have 2 MR52s connected to our door kit. And you will see that. So now we have changed and our capabilities increased to 16 inputs, 10 outputs, as well as 4 readers. And we're going to add one more because I have a 6-door kit. And now you can see 24 inputs, 16 outputs, 6 readers. And all of this is, again, automatically populated. These are already wired up and ready to go. So now we're going to save the device and this profile. And you can see that the information is beginning to populate, just like with Access. It'll begin to communicate, create the profile on the controller, and everything begins to happen for us. So now what we can do is we can go in and actually right from this device page, we can go ahead and begin adding doors. And this is going to be almost identical to what we just did with Access. So I don't think we need to go through and do all 6, but we'll just go ahead and show you for effect. And we can go ahead here and we can add our associated camera. We'll go ahead and say it is never unlocked. It is going to go from exterior to interior. Access time 5 seconds. And here's interesting where we can choose where we want to associate this door, where we're going to wire it. I'm going to say in this case that we're going to go in order and we're going to take the first available onboard port of the 1502. Now we choose Close, Save Device. And now if we go to Doors, we can actually see that this door has been added, and we're going through the connection and synchronization procedure now. And so you can actually go through and just continue to add then the next 5. So very, very simple process. Very similar to Access. The main thing to remember here is, again, we're going to not need to create a device login. We're going to do that through the API. And then the next thing to remember, of course, is that we're going to choose which controller. We're going to add any SIOs that we have connected. We're going to keep an eye on that inventory. The inventory will automatically update to reflect what you have and what is available. And just keep in mind that when it comes to the inputs and outputs, these things will be assigned automatically by QxControl in order. So just build your doors in order and you'll have an easy, successful adventure. So with that concludes our lesson. Thank you.